My name is Lynne Fiddmont, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I'd have to say my biggest influence, if I had to pick one person, is Stevie Wonder. But I had many influences. I had a lot of instrumentalists that influenced me as well. George Duke is one of those people, and I was fortunate enough to get to sing with George Duke. He's a piano player, an extraordinary piano player, but he also sang. I just like the way he approached music. Stanley Clarke is another one, and I also liked people like Michael Jackson, and I had a variety of people that I really liked. Chaka Khan. And I think those are my top people, top influences. I got started in the music business as a teenager. We had a band called Manteca, and we were just local kids that needed something to do, basically. And the kids on my street started playing music in somebody's garage, and then we started doing VFW hall gigs and family reunions, and a couple of, I think we had a high school talent show where we had pyrotechnics, is that what you call it, pyrotechnics? We set the school on fire almost. And then I went to college. I majored in public relations, but I always sang. I sang as in coffee houses at Drake University. And then I realized I wanted to be in a bigger city. So I moved to Boston. I went to Boston University. And nobody knew that I went to Boston University. They all thought I went to Berklee because I was always at Berklee School of Music. I sang in a top 40 band with a man named Nick Lamberti, and I always thought he was in the mafia. But so maybe he was, I don't know. But somehow we did top 40 gigs in every dive in Boston. And after I graduated, I started singing on the street because with my PR degree, I wasn't getting any bites on my job interviews. So we sang in the Commons with a guitar and a guitar case, of course, to collect the money. And we did like 20-minute shows at lunchtime, collected my rent, and one day a Berklee School of Music professor called me and asked me if I wanted a scholarship. And I said yes. So that's kind of how I started.
Did you hear that now? Cameras rolling.
My first gig was with the Jazz Crusaders, and that wasn't actually as a background singer. I sent a cassette tape to Wilton Felder when I first got out of college, and I was about to move to Los Angeles to launch my career as a jingle singer, which is what I wanted to be. And they hired me as their singer after Randy Crawford left the group. And then I moved here and started a job at a Bunker Hill financial planning company. They kept trying to give me raises. They told me not to wear flip-flops and to wear stockings, neither of which I did. I always wore my flip-flops, and I never wore stockings. And then they knew my heart wasn't in it. But I got an offer to go on the road with Bill Withers. And I came to work that day. I said, you know, I'm giving my 2-week notice. I'm giving my 2-week notice, but I can't guarantee you that I'll be here because we start rehearsal tomorrow. So she kind of looked at me and she just said, why don't you just leave today? So that's what happened. I got my first background job with Bill Withers, and then I went on with Lou Rawls, and then I went to Cattle Call audition with Stevie Wonder, and I got that. My nerves were so bad at that audition. My knees were shaking, and he asked me. We went up one after the other. It was at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I think he showed up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I had been there since 11. And I watched people go up and go down. I said, this is a waste of time. I don't think this is not going to pan out. But when I got up there, he asked me if I knew Saving All My Love for You by Whitney Houston. And I really didn't know any of the lyrics. Like even now, I don't know lyrics. That's how I knew my heart was kind of like as a background singer. Because I know all the background parts, but I rarely know the lead parts. So Keith John fed me the lyrics, and I sang it and got the gig. Well, it seems like, gosh, I forget more than I remember about who I have worked with. Stevie Wonder went on for a couple of years, I'd say like 20 years actually. We had a 20-year stint where I'd go in and out of working with him, mostly in the beginning. Then I had children, and I went out with Joe Zawinul, which is a jazz artist. I kind of strayed from my R&B roots. And then I went with maybe Kenny Loggins, and then I went with Phil Collins, and now I'm with Natalie Cole. I really don't remember all of who I've been out with. I'm looking at Marlena over there. We were out with Timothy B. Schmidt of the Eagles, and of course Bridget and I have done so many things together. I think that I've been everywhere just about, except for India. It's easier for me to say where I haven't been. I haven't been to India, and I haven't been to China. But most other places I've been, and it's been really interesting. I never thought growing up that I would go too many places. I didn't even think about it. But, well, I mean, we had many. Bridget and I had a good time in Australia when we were with Stevie. I think I've done just about every TV show. I mean, we did promo tours with Babyface. I did Leanne Rimes' promo tour. I even worked with Miley Cyrus, and we did the Country and Western Awards. Well, I did the Grammys with Babyface and Stevie, I think. I'm not even sure. Time goes by and you forget. I did B.B. King on Motown Live. At one point we did all kind of stuff on Motown Live. We did Destiny's Child. We did Arsenio Hall. I did Donnie Carson even. Jay Leno. I think we've done just about all the TV shows with different people. I sang with Whitney on The Tonight Show, and Kenny Loggins on The Tonight Show, and Quincy Jones on something. It's hard to remember everything. As a solo artist or a background singer, I started doing a lot of TV. I used to be a regular on Motown Live, which featured live music from all kinds of people. I think I did Destiny's Child, I did B.B. King, I did a bunch of people. I don't even remember half the people, but I was a regular on that show. And then I toured with several people doing their promotional shows, like Leanne Rimes. I did a promo tour with Regis and Kelly, The Morning Show, Good Morning America, all those shows, David Letterman. And I've done quite a few TV shows. With Stevie Wonder, we did The Tonight Show with Whitney. And I've done the Grammys with several people. I've done all the MTV award shows. We did one MTV Awards where I couldn't tell my children about it because it was kind of explicit. And we did that show, and all of my kids' friends told her and my son that they saw me on TV doing something that I wasn't particularly proud of, but that was on one of the MTV Awards. I think I've done every show. Well, the time I had the most fun was doing the Super Bowl with Stevie Wonder. And it was so big. The the whole outfit was so big. We had to be rolled across the field on the stage, and they told us not to look at the cameras, and we didn't. It was funny. We pre-recorded, and when the cameras came on, I think, and when the whole thing started, it was so overwhelming. I forgot to sing one of the parts, and it was funny because I said, "Oh, I hope they don't show me that part." And of course, the camera came right on that part. So I waited a beat and just danced a little bit, like, and then I came in with my ooh a few seconds later, right in time with the music, so it looked like it wasn't a mistake. But that was pretty thrilling, and I'd say that was to date my most fun gig. As a solo artist, I am busy expressing myself and getting the dreams and things that I have in my mind and my heart out. It's a big deal to be able to express yourself and perhaps help in some way. I have 3 CDs. I have a Christmas CD, and I have a lady CD that's a tribute to Billie Holiday, which I'm particularly proud of too. And my first CD that I did was called Flow, and I wrote everything on there except for one song. The others have been a mix of covers and originals, but I think just having something, having a voice, expressing your voice, that's a big deal to me. And my goals are to be the best me and to do everything possible that I was put here to do. I write, and I want to maybe act a little bit. I may want to, I don't know. Stardom isn't a huge motivator for me. I like being anonymous. I like going to Trader Joe's. I like looking bad at the supermarket. I like having my life. So I also love performing. It's a kind of a confusing thing, really. But I love to express musically and lyrically what's in my heart. I find that each person that I work with teaches me something different. Stevie taught me to have fun and just to kind of just not worry about the seriousness of messing up, or he just has fun, and that's something I've incorporated in my music. I think Phil Collins was kind of for me is kind of a workaholic, so he kind of taught me that hard work pays off. Natalie Cole, who I'm with right now, takes her time. It's just like the little things that you observe while you're working with people. You begin to incorporate the good things that they show you night after night. I watch Natalie night after night. She waits until she's ready to sing. It could be not the time we're all expecting her to start. And for me, I think for quite a while, I'd rush into the song when I said I was going to start, because I said I was going to start here, and maybe I wasn't ready. That's one of the big lessons. Since I'm with her right now, that's something I'm paying attention to a lot. She just takes her time. She may raise her microphone. She may do her hair. She may take a drink. But taking your time and really focusing, taking the moment and getting inside and ready to express that idea in the way that you really want to is major right now. Just each person has taught me something different. Well, being a backup diva means to me, I'm kind of like, I look at it sort of like Scandal. I feel like a gladiator. I like to be able to read the person I'm singing with so well. Like if you have to double a line or something, sometimes I double Natalie. And I may not look at Natalie, but what I pride myself in doing is listening so hard and paying attention to her that I feel like I'm a gladiator, like on Scandal. It's a different set of skills. Being a lead singer is different than being a background singer. It just takes a different set of skills. Like I said, you don't have to. Some people look down on background singers and think they must not be able to sing as well as a lead singer because they're not out front. But really, many times the background singers have just as much or more as skills or talent as the people that are up in front. I like the role of supporting someone. I like being part of the machine that makes the whole music move. I like emoting so that they have a comfortable place to lay and just kind of just perform, be able to perform. I want that when I'm singing, so I kind of have a good idea about what it takes to make somebody comfortable. So I look at it like I'm a gladiator. I think that being in the show will help my career by giving me exposure. And all of us exposure. We need it because we don't have the finances that the big record companies used to give artists. Even the major artists are not given the budgets that they used to give out. So now we're in the life of the time of reality TV. And people get a chance to just know you, I guess, and hopefully if they get to know you, they may attach themselves to what you are, who you are, and your music may come into their homes that way. I just like talking about music. It's just something that I love to do, so maybe I think that's what I am interested in.